Welcome back to K&L Farms, and I'm Ken. And we'll go over a little, I got a saw I need to work on a little bit, but in any case, if you watch my videos previously, thank you, but remember that plow truck was totally buried. I got it dug out, got it down here. And we'll go over a little bit over everybody, or you might go to, what the heck is he doing working on chainsaws? He's got 4 feet of snow, the dead of winter, and it seems like he had other things to do. Well, it's starting to thaw, and I'm having a problem with that truck, the plow truck, not mechanical, but seems to get stuck pretty regularly, and I can't move snow until it thaws all the way out. The other thing is, I would rather be working on my off-grid cabin, but if I'm 50 feet away from getting to the foundation of the off-grid cabin and I dig 5 feet of snow out, by the time I get to the project, the off-grid cabin, I'm so exhausted that I'll just go in the house and then it'll snow again. So I can't get to the off-grid cabin. I can't really plow that much, so I've got kind of a down day. And if you go to homesteading, or my life is, you don't really take a full day off just because you can't. You find something else to do. So I'm going to go over these 2 saws in the back of that truck, what I purchased to correct my error. I made a mistake on one of the saws, and I'll go over trying to rectify the saw and my thought process in the 2 saws. Okay, so let me set out the new product that I purchased over here. And this is a Farm Boss, got a 20-inch bar on the end of it, and it's a model number of MS290. Now, a lot of other creators, and I've heard a lot of the other creators say, do a review of the saw, and I've seen that on other creators, and I don't think that's a fair condition for me, because this saw, if I did a review on this saw, which is my best saw probably I've ever owned, the 20-inch bar saw, it's probably 20 years old, 25 years old. I've owned it for that long. I've owned it forever. So if I did a review on this saw, this MS220 still, it wouldn't be fair, because if you go, I say go buy something, my viewing audience, go buy this, and you go buy a brand new one, and you come back to me, an email or on a comment or whatever, and you say, well, that's a piece of crap. Well, the reason that I can't review this one is it's 20 to 25 years old, and you can relate with the difference in product over that time frame. So this is the 20-inch saw, and I migrate to this saw, and I'll show you here in just a minute the problem that I'm having. But I migrate to this saw. So if I have a problem, a tree down, or if I'm in an urgent situation and I need to get a saw, I go get this saw. And this saw I've had forever, so I bought a second saw. So let's put this saw over here for now. So I bought a second saw. Well, I bought a new saw. This saw is an MS391, and this saw right here, it's got a different power head on it. It's got more horsepower than the other one, and I bought this saw a couple years ago. Now, to give you an idea between the 2 saws, this saw right here, it actually, when it gets hot, it's 2 years old, when it gets hot, it's hard to start. This saw is much more, I don't know if you'd say unreliable, but I fight this saw a lot more than I fight the 20-inch saw. This has a 28-inch bar on it. It's quite a bit heavier. So if I'm having some issue, say something goes wrong, a tree goes down, I need a tree, I need to cut some brush, I migrate towards that saw. I bought this saw, it was fairly expensive to come off that one because it's old, to a more, I don't know if you'd say reliable, but my default saw. So I go to get a saw, I get this saw. So last year, the end of last year when we were doing firewood. Now we were doing firewood, cutting firewood. It wasn't for this year, because with this year's already in the woodshed, you're always a year ahead. And so we're cutting next year's firewood. When I'm cutting next year's firewood, I found this one to be extremely heavy. I didn't like the 28-inch bar on the end, and I thought it was somewhat underpowered. Now when I bought this saw, I had them put on an extended blade on this saw, which was a mistake that I made. So now that I've got a down day, I've got everything pretty much caught up. I mean, no urgent situations, and I need to get these saws ready for the spring. That's another thing that I do, and I think I've seen other homesteaders do, is don't wait till you need it to happen. Prepare for it to happen prior to. So I'm going to take this 28-inch bar off of here because it's underpowered a little bit, and I fight the weight a little bit because I'm older. And what I did was I went on Amazon. I like Oregon as a product. Went on Amazon, which I'll link these to. And this is, remember, on the saw. The saw's got a 28 on it. I'm going down to a 25 to see if that power head's better, and there'll be a little bit less weight. Now I don't know if 3 inches of bar length is going to change the weight, but the pivot point on this saw, it just seems like I'm always tipping down in the dirt with the 28, so I'm going to go with the 25. And I'll link these two, like I just said, in the description below if you'd like to go to Amazon and look at them. Now remember, I had to buy 2 chains. Normally, if I have chains, because like 20-inch chains and 28s, I've got quite a few I would resharpen, but I didn't have any 25s because I didn't own a saw that had 25. And this is fairly self-explanatory. Once you get to it, I'll spin that power head. I'll probably move the camera so you can see me taking that bar off, putting this bar on. It's not that serious. And the other thing I might say is, at least in my condition, 2 things. One is bar wrenches. That's what a bar wrench looks like, and you should get a bar wrench if you buy a saw. And my family runs stills. We're kind of a still family. I got a couple of, I got a cousin and a nephew that are kind of an outcast. They run an orange saw. I've never ran an orange saw. I've always ran a white saw. So anyway, I'm going to spin the camera so you can see this better. Probably put you over here so you can see me taking that bar off, and then stripping that and putting the new bar on. Okay, got you moved a little bit, and I'm right-handed. I would say run a sheath on your saw. It helps the chain, and from this point it's not that big a deal. Just, you know, run these 2 nuts off, and then I'll show you here in just a minute. Now before you get those nuts all the way off, spin the saw up and get some tension off that chain, because I don't know from a 28 to a 25 how much tension, but get some tension off that chain. Spin it back, and then just, you know, say hello to Martin. It's warm enough that Martin comes down and sees me. Hopefully he doesn't get involved in one of those chains. These nuts you're gonna need. Hey, easy. I don't know what he's doing, but I don't want him to get hurt on the chain. And then what I do is take the cover off and clean the cover a little bit. Just take this, and I call it a saw wrench, but I'm not sure what the exact terminology is for it, but that's what I've always called it. Kind of clean this debris off since you got that. Dig out these. See, that's got bar oil mixed with sawdust is why that's kind of caked in there a little bit. And this follower, this track, this guide, kind of clean that and inspect that a little bit. See how Martin's inspecting it? Yeah. Clean that off a little bit, get it kind of like that. And then these, you got to move Martin because I don't know where those, see these 2 nuts? You're going to need to keep track of those 2 nuts. Now, Martin doesn't care about that. Let's put Martin over here for now, so he doesn't get injured. And then pull the chain off the end of the idler. This is that's a still, that was a factory that I have rotated once. See if I can get a better frame on it. Comes in like that with the name. When you buy it, you run the chain. When you shift the chain stall, you got to put a sharp chain on it. Rotate that over. That means that there's wear. There'll be wear on the top. You won't wear the bar out as fast. If you rotate it every time you shift the chain or sharpen the chain, then the bar lasts longer. Now this has been a pretty good bar, but it's too long for me. Set the bar right there for now. Pick the 28 chain and just set it over here for now. Okay, now I got to get this is the new bar, the Oregon bar. I like the Oregon product. Get it out of there, and in order for me to keep track of it, keep track of the saw, is I'll put it on the label up. Label up first time, label down second time, label up, that type of thing until the bar gets wore out. And I'm just going to set it on here for now. And so you'll see a pin. Let me get the power head up here. You'll see a pin right here. This is the saw guide, but in its good shape, tight. There's a pin right here. That's the tension pin. That's what moves the bar in and out in order for the chain tension. Kind of slip it. See how it sits in that hole right there? And see how it fits on that guide? Kind of set it down here for now. Now, I'm going to get out of the box. I'm going to get me a new chunk of chain. Set that there until we get to the garbage, and then I'm going to go through the puzzle of getting the chain back in order and not bothering Martin. Martin's kind of in the way today, but he's been stuck in his house for a while, so he hasn't had a lot of time to actually get out much this year. So I'm going to get that figured out a little bit, kind of get it straightened out a little bit. That's a brand new chain, and then you got to just be pertinent on keeping the direction of travel. So, what are you doing, Martin? What are you doing, Martin? Once you get it back to where you want the teeth pointing forward on the bar. Put it on the main drive. Kind of set it in the bar a little bit, because then you can find out if your bar tension is too tight or too loose. Which I'm not sure yet, but I'll find out here in just a minute. Kind of set it on the bar a little bit. Oh yeah, very much so. Way too tight. Let's see if I can retract that for you, and you can see it. Okay, so retract that a little bit. Okay, let's try that now. Let's get it back on those two sockets to make sure. And see, now this is all brand new, so it might take a little bit. Get it on the front roller, and then you got to get it back in that keeper, so it looks like that kind of. After you get it look like that a little bit, two nuts, side guard. Put that in there a little bit. Like that. You know, see it's not there, that's better. Seat that in there a little bit, and what I do is I snug it up a little bit so that there's friction, so that I go forward. Now I'm not going to get of course I'm not going to get the chain tension correctly yet, because it kind of got to get the saw running for the chain tension, but that doesn't take very long. So just get these two nuts on here for the side guard. clean your wrench out a little bit, and it'll tighten up a little bit. The chain will tighten up a little bit as I go. Okay, so got a little friction on that. Shouldn't watch Martin. It shouldn't be a concern now. And then I'm going to try and get some of that chain tension up a little bit, which that bar probably needs to travel a little bit in order to go. Okay, so I want to get Martin out of the shot a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm going to tighten the front nut up a little bit longer, more. Okay, so let me loosen that back up because that's not anywhere close to even trying yet. Yeah, it's maybe a little too tight. I'm going to back that off a little bit. And just cinch this up a little bit. Okay, that's kind of what I had planned for today. I'm going to put this bar, because it's not bad, of course. It's not bad, it's just too long for me. And if I ever got a job where I need a 28, I got a 28 in this box. Same thing with this chain. I got an extra 25 on that, in that box right there. And I'm just going to put my shroud back on here for now. And then I'll get the 20 off the ground and figure out what Martin's up to. But that's what I had planned for today. That's what I was trying to attempt. That's one of the things I'm trying to attempt. I'll put these saws away, and then I'll go about doing something else, but it won't be around saw maintenance. And remember, if you like the content, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll put a couple videos up just so you can look, if you'd like, on the off-grid cabin and on the truck being stuck. And thank you.